Hey, we're back at it again. This video I think I'm going to title Don't Blame Russia for Inflation. I'm out here on the road again with a good head horse Brown. Not been ridden in about 3 months, with coming back from a subcarpal check ligament injury. Actually re-injured an old injury, but he's doing well and I'm excited to get him back working. Anyway, I've been talking to some people about markets and all the crazy shit that's going on right now. And you're seeing a lot of people saying that, or some politicians I guess, saying that the problems we're having with inflation and the gas prices and oil going up is all Russia's fault. And like I was talking to this nice Canadian gentleman today. We were talking about the markets and what's going on, and it's easy to forget that the repo markets were going haywire in 2019, and the financial crisis from 2008, 2009 was basically coming back in full force after it had been papered over for 10 or so years. And whether or not that had anything to do with global rollout of the whole COVID scam, I think it was pretty coincidental, a little fishy if you ask me. And that was it gave them a good excuse to print a ton of money. In fact, they, over the course of 2020 and 2021, I believe they printed something like 40% of all dollars in existence have been printed in that time period. So while this whole deal going on with Russia and all the geopolitical instability and the market turmoil in the short term, yeah, that's a catalyst that's driving some type of a war premium on some of these commodities. Really, I think, like the guy I follow at TF Metals Report has made this point in the past, and I've heard several smart people make this point that the Fed was trapped, and just the fact that commodities were not up double, triple already is strictly because people still had faith in what the Fed was saying, that they're going to be able to raise interest rates 6-7 times this year. And hell, they've been saying that since 2014 or 15. Oh, and they did raise them up to like a percent or 1.5%. But the way it was going with the so-called safe haven asset of treasuries, if you loan money to buy treasuries debt for 10 years and you're getting 1.5% or 1%, and they admit inflation is at 6 or 7%, and that's by all means the low estimate, that's the official number, then you're guaranteed losing compound huge amounts of money. And that realization had not come to the financial markets yet, because everyone still believed them when they said, once again, like Charlie Brown kicking the football, they're saying, oh yeah, we're going to raise interest rates 7 or 8 times this year, and they're still saying it. I think I heard someone from JP Morgan, I think, was saying that they're estimating seven rate hikes this year. So in the midst of all this turmoil and basically all this money printing and all this political instability going on at the time, which is really, I guess it's maybe unrelated or maybe not, I don't know. Maybe if this is good timing, it gives them another excuse, like they had with the whole COVID narrative. They had a good excuse to start printing money like it was going out of style. And so I guess the thing that I think is a lot of politicians have been saying is that well, it's the Russians' fault that we have high inflation. Well, the Russians aren't the ones that printed, several $1 trillion last year and just spent it into existence. Now, the Russians have the ability, I guess, to upset the apple cart, and if their actions cause the breakdown in the market that causes the derivative bonfire to go up in flames, and the whole Western world economy basically melts down, that was going to happen anyway. And I don't mean to be a prophet of doom saying that. But if you've been following, or if you understand Austrian business cycle theory, you know that was like a guaranteed outcome, that the boom created by all the money printing after 2009, and after they didn't fix any of the structural problems that were caused by low interest rates and money printing in the first place. You knew this was going to happen, and the fact that they pushed it off this long just goes to show, well, the only thing you could guarantee was that we didn't know when it was going to happen, but you knew it was going to be worse this time than it was in 2008. So yeah, now maybe the Russians invading the Ukraine is a short-term catalyst or what have you that's causing a lot of turmoil, and that might be the straw that breaks the camel's back. But it's going to be real easy for some of these politicians and bankers to try to blame the problems that they caused on an external enemy, and fool a lot of people into thinking that, you know, it wasn't their fault and all the things they did were just trying to help, when in reality this whole situation has been caused by Western central bankers and politicians printing and spending money like it's their job, and enriching their friends and all the billionaires and the whole banking cartel and the whole global, well, the Western banking cartel, which is looking more and more like Russia is not a part of, and even if they ever were, there looks like they're going to be cut off. So that's kind of a tangential rant, but I think it's important for everyone to remember this, and hopefully, because there has to be a percentage of people when this shit goes wrong, and when the markets continue to tank and fertilizer costs so much and corn triples in price and there's a shortage of food next year and all these things going on. It wasn't the fucking Russians, and we can't let the actual criminals and those responsible get off the hook that easily and blame an external boogeyman when they caused the problem by printing money. And so in order to not be a prophet of doom, I don't like to say a bunch of negative things and not have something that's kind of like a solution or the way forward. The thing that excites me is that more and more people are understanding what inflation is, and they're learning the value of sound money. And a lot of people are flooding into Bitcoin and gold right now. I mean, silver was up 5% today, and it's crossing it's kind of breaking out technically. And if this whole geopolitical situation doesn't get back under control in the near future, then it could end up breaking the COMEX, which in the long run is a good thing, because that's going to expose the weakness of the central bankers and the weakness of their money printing schemes, and it's going to wake a lot of people up to the need to own real assets, hard assets, and the need to have an honest money system that's based on a commodity that cannot be reproduced at will by politicians and their friends. Anyway, that's that's probably all I'm going to say for now. I thank you for watching this. I appreciate everyone that's watching my videos, and I hope you'll come back for more, and I'll have more content shortly. And till then, happy Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday, and I'm praying for peace, and I hope you are too. So adios, and I will see you next time.